Hi, I'm Eric, and I'd like to tell you about Setting First. I'm a big believer in providing context where I can, especially since online communication is so often stripped of it. But I'll be quick about this since nobody wants to hear me blather on and on about myself at length, including me. I discovered D&D in the winter of 1979-1980 in junior high. From the get-go, exploring new games as they came out was really important to us. At the time and place, the early 80s, Northern California, interpreting rules as we saw fit and hacking them to suit our needs was just what you did. So I tend to get less hung up on whether rules as written are perfect or not. And I also enjoy tweaking settings to fit my table's needs. We started with TSR games, playing short campaigns of AD&D, Top Secret, Gamma World, those sorts of games. Early in high school, I branched out to RuneQuest and fell in love with the world of Glorantha. Running a lengthy campaign built around Chaosium's published supplements, and absorbing how Glorantha made magic feel intrinsic to a fantasy world rather than bolted on, and really enjoying how messy and real the relationships between cults felt. I also went all in on the crunch of Aftermath, running multiple campaigns in a hometown post-apocalypse setting of my own design, and learning through trial and many errors how to make a game world feel like more than a collection of combat encounters. When Shadowrun came along as a reader of Cyberpunk, the pastiche of technology and magic instantly grabbed me. Our campaign started in college, but we loved the world and the characters so much that we extended it for a time after college through our own flavor of play-by-mail. I played and GM'd lots of games along the way, and quite a few since then, including, but not limited to, the Arduin Grimoire, Traveler, MSPE, TMNT, Stormbringer, Cyberpunk, Twilight 2000, Call of Cthulhu, Numenera, Burning Wheel, Pathfinder, Apocalypse World, Dungeon World, Fate Core, Fate Accelerated, Twilight 2013, Fiasco, Tales from the Loop, Paranoia, Night's Black Agents, Mutant Year Zero, Conan, Cyberpunk Red, and Mothership. From this list, you can see I've mostly played traditional games, but I've tried a few that step outside that category. Most recently, I've run campaigns using basic role-playing for a multi-generational zombie apocalypse of my own devising, Eclipse Phase, Star Wars Edge of the Empire and Age of Rebellion, and Degenesis, which is a game I've gotten into so deeply that I fired up a blog all about it, called Trained by Canor. And at the moment, I'm running a Paleomythic campaign. For the last 13 years, I've been running a site that was originally called Learn Tabletop RPGs, which became Unpossible Journeys. It's a resource for existing gamers looking to try different kinds of games and for newcomers who are just entering the hobby. But with the rise of explanatory videos and streaming shows, the need for a site like UJ has really diminished over time. I still enjoy experimenting with different games and play styles, but for Setting First, I'll focus on exploring the approaches to gaming that mean the most to me. Primarily, but not exclusively, Setting First sits at the intersection of three areas of interest. Verisimilitude, defining what that is. Yes, it's the feeling of realness in fiction, but there's also a lot to uncover and understand there. To me, it's about incorporating verisimilitude into our games as GMs and players, drawing from outside tabletop role-playing in the realms of history, anthropology, economics, psychology, and so on, and then, of course, drawing from fiction, from books, movies, TV, you name it. The second aspect is campaign play. Campaigns that stretch on long enough to provide the immersion of a really good multi-season TV series like The Wire, Deadwood, Battlestar Galactica remake. A good campaign can really deliver engagement in the setting, rich character development, and deeply rewarding adventures. This applies whether we're talking about commercially produced settings or homebrew. And the final aspect is in-person gaming. Because for me and my primary gaming group of busy adults, the social benefits are more important now than ever. So I want to dig into how adult gamers can prioritize and coordinate in-person gaming and talk about the benefits of in-person gaming and talk about how we fit it into our busy lives. In exploring these topics, I think about how tabletop role-playing is an inherently worthwhile hobby. It's not just a silly game and is worth as much respect as being a movie buff, an NFL fan, or a heavy concert goer. So with that in mind, Setting First is not about espousing any sort of one true way. I enjoy looking at things from different angles and sharing ideas with people who don't think about things exactly as I do. So this is not a space for rants, provocations, or drama, but it is a place for mutually respectful, mutually beneficial sharing of our wonderful hobby. More than anything, I'm looking to find other gamers whose interests and approach to tabletop role-playing intersects with mine, so we can share with and benefit from each other. One last note. There are plenty of channels for D20 classes and levels games like D&D, Pathfinder, and Retro Clones. That's not really my interest, so don't expect much material explicitly focused on those games. That said, it bears repeating that Setting First isn't about bashing games or playstyles. It's about exploring a kind of gaming that we find enjoyable and rewarding. That's it for now. Thanks for checking out Setting First, and I hope you'll join the conversation.